All right, guys, we are back. Sorry for the big delay there, but Blake Knowles gets it done in round 8, 3-6 on the clock. It was a pretty squirrely night in the bulldogging.
Yeah, there was some, this pin of cattle tonight, it does present some challenges. There's probably 3 or 4 steers that they've just been tough all week, you know, and tonight again we saw it, and I guess that creates opportunities, right? So luckily I didn't have some of those steers. I had kind of the better end of them and was able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of been a roller coaster the entire rodeo. We've seen some lightning fast times, and we saw a 3-3, which, I mean, for this pin and the way it's set up, I mean, I don't know how it could get faster than that, but the difference between a 3-3 and a 3-6 isn't all that much, but a little bit on the start. What has been your opinion so far of of the start? And obviously it's a lot different than, say, Thomas and Mack, but it is pretty consistent with most rodeos, really.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's awesome. I love the Thomas and Mack. That's great, but I mean, if we're somewhere else, and I couldn't ask for it to be better. Like, I think the start is still, it's pretty dang fast. We've tried to pick cattle that are conducive for fast starts, so they try and they run. And I think that throughout this week, man, I've been in awe what these guys are doing. It's been, as a competitor, it's awesome to be a part of. But as a steer wrestler, it's been fun to watch too. Guys are sticking it on them. It's been as tough a rounds as I've ever been a part of or ever seen.
It has, and I mean, the plot just keeps thickening. Matt Reeves came in with a pretty decent lead there, but he has absolutely had hell. He did get that one round win, but
rodeo is a sport, and as we see in all sports, momentum is huge, right? So Matt came in. He kind of had some heck right off the bat, unfortunately. Did a horse change, tried to regroup, kind of saw things were not going the perfect direction, tried to fix it, got on Tyson, who is just been awesome all week, is that great horse, the Curtis Cassidy's.
Yeah, absolutely.
And unfortunately, though, tonight goes out with a no time, and now I don't know how it's all going to play out. We're all just going to try to win as much as we can, but I think it's going to be an uphill battle for him.
Yeah, certainly is. And I mean, you've got guys coming in that's their first NFR that are really shaking things up. And Jacob Edler's doing amazing. Stetson's doing amazing. You guys are all kind of having your moments to shine here. And it's just, I don't remember bulldogging being quite this interesting personally. I mean, I'm not a huge bulldogging guy, obviously, but I think anybody who's watching right now has got to be a bulldogging fan, because it's just great rodeo.
I hope so. I mean, it's easy for me to say that I am, right? Because that's what I do.
It's your life's work.
But I think, I think there's one kind of constant that you could point to that has helped create that, which is the horsepower this year. I just think the horses that are here this year, and whether it's the different setup or the different venue, I don't know. But all I know is they all look awesome. I mean, really. I mean, it's a really strong group of horses and horsepower. And, I consider this event kind of like being a race car driver. Like, if your car's not the fastest one, you're going to have a hard time winning. So, it's been a fun thing to be a part of.
Yeah, no, certainly is. I mean, you had your night tonight, but yeah, kind of touching on what you said there, unless something happens with the steer out of, once they're out of the chute, but kind of how the run's going to go based on people's start. I mean, that's been the one thing that's been really consistent in the bulldogging, and actually all the timed events, every barrier event. If someone nails the start, there is a good probability that they're going to have the time they need at a minimum place.
Yeah, well, you're talking about 15 guys that are the best at this event this year. They're all extremely capable and good competitors, and can dang sure, do good at whatever event they're doing. So how do you create that separation as a competitor, right? Well, one aspect is the start. I mean, everybody can throw their steers down fast, but who can nail that start and get your feet on the ground faster? That's a big part of what can separate you each night, whether you win or don't.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. And it's played out exactly like you said. I mean, nobody knows better than you and the other 14 guys out there on how to set these runs up. But there's so many minuscule factors, I think, especially in what you guys do, that play in. I mean, it may not look like it, but the amount of technique that you guys have to, implement to make sure you don't hang a leg, for instance, it's not easy. And kids who are watching, I mean, what's one of the things you would tell guys who are striving to get here? Like, say it's a Bridger Anderson's from 3 years ago, that kid who thinks they want to be here, but is not quite sure how to do it, or they look at it and maybe they assume it's a little too easy. I mean, if you've tried to bulldog and you don't know what you're doing, it is literally impossible. You're going to get ran over.
Well, I would say first off is don't try to do anything that you've been watching, right? Because not that it's not right. It's just that, most of these guys have spent, upwards of 10,000 hours trying to perfect this trade. So you're not just going to do it the first day. So I would say first off is be ready to go to work. Just like any other sport, it takes a lot of dedication, a lot of work. And then secondly, I think, go find a really good school. Go find somebody that's putting on, and there's Luke Branquino, there's Tyler Pearson. There's a lot of guys out there that are regionally putting on these schools. And I think that's a great avenue to go to try to really get the fundamentals down because, and then once you get those fundamentals, figure out which one you think you kind of have the upper edge on, right? So whether it's brute strength and that you can really throw down strong steers, then, develop that and let that be kind of your niche to separate yourself. Or if it's scoring or riding a horse, maybe that's what it is, but find that and then use that to your advantage.
Yeah. I mean, that's truly great advice. And it's interesting in the bulldog, and you see a lot of different guys. Obviously, you've got giants out there. Jacob Elder comes to mind, some other people, but who are here this year. But then you see smaller guys like Rowdy Parrott, who, I mean, he won a fast round at the American this last year, and Rowdy's the same size as me, and it's all technique with a guy like that and speed. And you really do, if you are a student of the sport or you enjoy bulldogging, you get to see so many different guys do so many different things, and there's probably a fit for just about anybody out there at this point. Yeah,
find a guy that you think may be of your body type or of, you kind of could see yourself in that person. And then, that's kind of who you probably need to go visit with and try to perfect and try to emulate. Tyler Wagensback's not the biggest guy in the world, but fundamentally, and he has perfected his craft as good as I've ever seen it done. As far as, he is just almost his perfection and repetition of doing the same thing over and over is awesome. And so, yeah, find that guy that you think kind of fits you, and then, look him up. Everybody's on social media. See if he's putting on a school and try to emulate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's more opportunity now to learn than there ever was before. I mean, even 5-10 years ago, there wasn't the depth of people, or like social media helps. You can almost reach anybody, and that's what's great about rodeo is whether it's a guy in the Thomas and Mack or an old dog who was here 20 years ago, it's a quick phone call, and you can probably reach them, and they'll help you.
Yeah, there's more available. We're all more available than probably ever before because of like social media. And I know I can speak for the steer wrestlers. Everybody's happy to help. If we can help somebody get to the next level or answer a question or look at a run or something, man, everybody usually has a couple seconds to do that. So we're happy to help.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we'll wish you one final congratulations. You got one of the last Globe Life buckles that'll be given. So congratulations on that. They're pretty sweet looking, and hopefully you have fun at your gold buckle ceremony and whatever you're going to do after. It's not like you can go party or anything. So,
well, thanks for having me.
You bet.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, guys, we'll be back. A very heartfelt thank you to our sponsor, Cavenders. Cavenders has been a trusted cowboy boot and western wear outfitter for over 50 years. Go to Cowboy Christmas to their 8,300 square foot booth to find out why their loyal customers love their western wear collections as much as I do. Guys, Cavenders is the place to be for Christmas. If you're not at Cowboy Christmas, go to their website or one of their 90-plus stores throughout the continental U.S. Cavenders is where it's at. Guys, our founding fathers set out to ensure that you were able to arm yourself if you needed to against tyrannical government. The Second Amendment is extremely important. Bailey's House of Guns might be the finest firearm supplier in all of Texas. They're such a fine firearm supplier that they have been supplying Texas law enforcement for decades. They've been in business since 1970, based out of the Houston market. They've got all the great options. You like hunting? They've got Benelli. They've got Weatherby. They've got Christensen Arms. They've got Swarovski on the optics side. Loopold scopes. All the ammunition you could want. It's like there is no COVID for them. They have kept their stocks high. If you can't find it in the box stores, guys, give Bailey House of Guns a call. 713-433-2475 for more details. Here's what's great. If you're out of the state of Texas, no problem. Bailey's will ship the gun you want to your local FFL. You can still get a Bailey's House of Guns firearm today.